stage Patrick Klein from the European Commission. Join me here. So Patrick, you're currently head of the social economy team within the Proximity, Social Economy and Creative Industries unit of the European Commission Directorate General for Internal Markets. Thank you for joining us. I hear that you're pretty busy with the upcoming European Social Economy Action Plan. So we still thought we'd steal a bit of your time to tell us a bit about your work and the place for cooperative entrepreneurship and for education as well. Patrick, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with all of you today in this hybrid format. For me, by the way, this is the second physical meeting I attend this year, so I'm very happy to be there with you today. So thank you very much. I mean, for this invitation to speak today for of your project. We all that this COVID crisis, this pandemic has really marked all of us. And we have seen a drastic shift in our professional and personal lives. But this has shown as well, you know, our incredible ability, let's say, to adapt, and our incredible ability to show solidarity in these difficult times. This has been demonstrated, by the way, by cooperatives. And this is my first point. I would say that this pandemic is not yet over. We see it today, you know, especially in Europe and in many parts of the world. But we have seen as well that cooperators with commitment and tenacity continue to address this economic, social, and cultural challenge that we face all over the place. And this is that it goes without saying that the solidarity present in the cooperative movement has been highly effective. Personally speaking, and I think that we have to mention it, the cooperative in the post-pandemic area that we are preparing, that the Commission is preparing. Cooperative have to achieve a just and fair recovery. However, and we see that, let's say, quite every day, the general public, particularly young people, they are not always aware of this model, its value, such as democracy. We see as well that today many students want to have a professional life with a job that is meaningful. They want job stability. I can understand that. They want protection, but they want as well, you know, that they are doing something, you know, as part of their jobs. And I think that this is what cooperative can offer. We can offer innovation. They can offer opportunities. These are the core value of the cooperatives. And let's say that despite their economic and societal importance, cooperatives are presented, you know, in education curricula and at different level of studies. And this is my second point. I would say that we need to introduce a notion, you know, of entrepreneurship to people to show that we can do things differently, that we can develop an entrepreneurship that is based on responsible, on engaging, you know, behavior. Let's say that it's important, and we have done. I would say the European Commission. We have done and we carried out and we supported those last years many projects dedicated, you know, to this kind of entrepreneurship, maybe via the COSME program or the program of the European Commission. We clearly think that different entrepreneurship models needs to be taught, in secondary school, in the university. Personally, I studied business when I was at the university, and I never heard, the word cooperative. And I think that this is not normal. It's important, that if a student wants to set up a company, he can create the company with any kind of legal forms he wants. He has to be aware that he can do it. And today, few schools focus on different business models, such as cooperative, or include cooperative entrepreneurship in their curricula. This is not normal, and we need to change this. So this is not surprising when a student wants to set up, he does not take this into consideration in personal strategy. Cooperative needs to be promoted, and today I would like really to congratulate you for the work that you carried out during this month, difficult month. Let's say it's cooperative entrepreneurship. It's important, to see that cooperative can bring, a solution, especially to be more resilient, to be more green, to be more digital. By creating their own cooperatives tailored to local needs, we can clearly see that young entrepreneurs encourage economic development. They encourage social cohesion as well. And they can have, their own skills development. It's not about doing things alone. It's about doing things together. And this is key in the cooperative world. We that young people, have a lot of energy. They have, a lot of dynamism, and that it's key that they can be supported. But if, we have teachers in schools, in university, to know about this project. Let's say that it's really high time that we should promote, this business model, especially nowadays in this recovery process. We need to foster education, that places the emphasis, on these models. We need to involve all kinds of stakeholders, public stakeholders, private stakeholders, education, schools, to work together to create, such kind of opportunities. And this is my third point. We have seen, especially last year, Commission decided to European education area. It was in September 2020, where, and I read it, it was important to force the transversal skills such as critical thinking, entrepreneurship, civic engagement as key for the next generation of students, researchers, and innovators to build a resilient society. Again, this is really something that is brought by cooperative entrepreneurship. Another key element, many of it, the European Commission will release its European Action Plan on the social economy. It will be really a key document, a key political document, 10 years after the launch of the social business initiative. It's important to think which action we need to help member states, regional authorities to create more jobs, sustainable growth, accessible services. Think about how we can create, tools for upskilling and to boost. On that day, release another key document, very important for us, which is what we call a pathway for the social economy to help our society, our industry to be more green, to be more digital. This is where I see a lot, especially, for actors like cooperatives, to work with us to create, a more greener Europe, more digital. To briefly conclude, let's say that in recent years, there has been a rising interest in using cooperatives, as the tools to improve youth employment conditions, and access to entrepreneurship. Again, today, I would like to really highlight the fact that cooperative can really be a rallying point for young people. It represents a way to inspire citizenship and promote democracy. A book that I read recently, a book that was written a long time ago, Nelson Mandela said that the youth of today of tomorrow, and I this cooperative world, I think that they can really bring an added value to the society that we want to create. We should give them all the opportunities to fair society. So I would like again to for the project that you carried out. I think it was a really key and important project. What is important now is an invitation for the results to the different stakeholders, private. And I really look forward to continuing beyond this project, this stimulating and instructive exchange of ideas that we are going to have in this particular model. Thank you very much. I don't know if we will go all the morning, but again, thank you very much. Let's keep on working together, to promote this typical more present, in curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Patrick, again. I may have to steal a little bit more time. We're going to take maybe a few questions because we do have time. So maybe by taking one or two questions here in the room while people online maybe think about their questions. So I'm opening the floor. Anyone has a question they'd like to ask Patrick at this? It's always the hardest, but yes. So that people can hear you online as well.
You were talking about engaging stakeholders, and just what do you think is like the best way to engage those work together? Because I think sometimes it seems to kind of work in silos. And so what do you think is the best approach to encourage more people to work together?
Well, indeed, working with stakeholders is key. We should be the impetus, from the European Commission. And I will give you just one project, something that we have conducted, those last months. We have, a scheme called the European Social Economy Region Schemes. This is where we invite the stakeholders, to work with the Commission on dedicated topic relating to the social economy. Maybe, of course, education, area, solidarity finance, socially public procurement. What is important that we are there, with the stakeholders to work. And on really working with stakeholders, one key element is about creating the links together, creating links, discussing, and improving, connection. In the social economy, I think that there are so many success stories that needs to be shared, so many best examples that needs to be, highlighted, that it would be a pity that we cannot do it. And I think that the role of the Commission is really, to help, to put people together, to connect, the dots, so that, they can have, an added value, especially for today for the resilience of territories, to think about greener issue, and to think about, how to define, a project so that it can have an impact, So it's really, the role that I think, for the Commission, connecting, creating, impacting.
Name and organization.
Amanda Benson from Cooperative College.
Thank you.
Dan McCallum. I work for in Wales, a renewable energy cooperative, working a lot in schools. We're also members of YOUCOOPE as well, which is a federation across Europe. So my question is something that we struggle with is actually around procurement. You know, we would love to install solar panels on more schools, but the public sector finds it very difficult to engage with cooperatives because of procurement regulations. And some of the frameworks that exist, which allow local authorities to procure solar panels, are only populated by large multinational companies, and cooperatives find it very difficult to engage in that process. Is procurement something that the Commission can be looking at to get more cooperatives working in schools?
Indeed, I think this is an excellent question. You know, if you think about what we have done in 2014, there is a EU regulation, you know, on public procurement. One of this, let's say, one of the topics that has been discussed in this EU public procurement is about how to consider, you know, more socially market-oriented, you know, procurement. Of course, there's an obligation, you know, to ask, you know, public authorities to work with social enterprises. But what we have done, we decided to go, you know, into different member states to highlight this possibility, the possibility that was offered, you know, by public procurement. Awareness raising, we did awareness raising events. We publish guides with best practices. So I invite you maybe to have a look, you know, on our website, you know, for guiding. We highlighted best practices, success story that we could find, you know, in member states, sometimes coming from cities or regional authorities. We cannot force, you know, public authorities, you know, to act on socially responsible public procurement. But what we can do, and this is something that we will continue to do, is really to strongly invite them, you know, to see what's happening all over Europe, so that they can act and work better, you know, with the social economy, you know, actors. So, so then I invite you, you know, to read, you know, what will happen, you know, in the coming weeks. You know, maybe there will be something, you know, on socially responsible public procurement, you know, in this new action plan. We don't know for the moment. I mean, we don't know. Some people know, but we will see, you know, what will happen. But it's key, you know, to see that, you know, and this opportunity should be fully, you know, taken on board by public authorities.
Thanks. I'll bring you something from our guests online. So we have one comment that you can react if you, and then one question. The comment from Dirk, president of the European Federation of Citizen Energy Cooperatives. He's saying, after attending COP26 in Glasgow as an observer for Res Co-op that you just mentioned, Dan, I am more convinced than ever that we need a cooperative economy and society instead of what we have now. And Europe should embrace this and not the neoliberal free market model. So if you want to read, that's the comment. Then we have a question from Hazel, who is an educator in Wales. We need to have awareness of social economy as a route to the SDGs, embedded across education. And one of the most difficult areas can be into business schools, where actually these models should now always be taught alongside more traditional models. How do you think you could help make this happen?
Okay, so two comments, two remarks. The first one, indeed, maybe what we have done, you know, I think that recently there was this conference prepared by the Global Social Economic Forum, I think it was early October, very interesting one. And the European Commission decided, to have a panel there, and we decided to invite, an energy cooperative, which is based in Luxembourg. And by the way, I'm going to meet them, tomorrow, because I'm going to Luxembourg. So I think it's important to see that, citizens, can do something, especially, in the world of cooperative, especially, in the energy transition. Again, this is what I mentioned just before. We have good example. We have to see that, if we want to achieve the SDG, we should empower people, to take action and to help, the ecological and green transition. And let's say that this example about, energy cooperative is really, is incredible. This is where we see, that really we can act, on a local basis, on a territorial basis, to support the energy transition. Just one sentence to finish my comment. We will launch on the 8th of December, what we call, it's Commission jargon, a staff working document. It will be, a document inviting, stakeholders to work with us, to define action, new concrete action, especially on the green, on digital transition. And again, I clearly see a role for cooperative, especially, following the comment, in the energy sectors. So I invite, I invite, all the cooperatives that are present, today, to follow the work that we will do. We want to co-create, really this pathway. And we clearly think that the cooperative model can be a good model, to help us, for this green transition. The second question, this is exactly, what I said, during my my speech. Yeah, I think that if you want to stimulate the development of cooperative, of course, it has to be clearly shown, in education, in curricula. The Commission has worked already a lot, and for sure will continue. We have some project like in the COSME, in Erasmus Plus. I cannot tell you that this is something that we are going to do, but we have programs that can help, to support, this kind of program. And I clearly see that this is something that is important. We see today, especially with your project, that it's successful, and it has to be highlighted. Now, if the Commission has to do something, I invite, of course, all the cooperators that are present, to continue to diffuse, this message, and help schools,